everyone, it's Tammy, and I thought that I would do a 2017 favorite things video, and I wanted to show you guys a lot of my favorite things, and mostly it's crafty favorite things. Actually, only it's crafty favorite things now that I'm thinking about it. So the first thing I have is one of the tools that I use most often, and it is my cutter. So this is my paper cutter, and this is a Stampin' Up! Product, and I absolutely love it. It cuts very well, cuts a very straight line. It makes it easy to cut. There's a scorer and a cutter, and it works really well. I love that it has the marks all the way through. It's not raised at all. It's just on the cutter itself, so that I can easily see when I've lined up a piece of paper where it is on the grid line, and then I can also line it up here. It has all of the little increments at 1/16 of an inch, and then the 1/8 of an inch is a little bigger, and then there's another 1/16, so it's very easy to get an exact increment. It's very good at cutting exactly on the line, and that is like exactly, if I put this on 3, I know that I'm getting 3 inches. You know, I don't know if it's totally exact, but for me it's exact. And I love that it has the numbers on both sides and the grid lines on this side, so that I can go as far as I need to on this side of the cutter as well. I like that this is see-through. I like that it is pretty sturdy. It's not like, I don't know, I can see how somebody might break it, but I have never, and nor do I ever. I mean, it doesn't seem like I will ever break it, but I mean, you could if you need, I don't know, if you were hard on it, you really could. But it's very nice. I love that the ruler is on this cutting part too, so that I can also see on this side how big I'm making something, or if I want to cut something at an exact spot, I can use the arrow on this, line it up with my arrow on the ruler, and get an exact cut for however far I want to cut it on the inside of the paper, or score it. And so it has the scoring blade and the cutting blade together. The light one, it doesn't cut as deep, so it's a lighter, and it is the scorer. And then the darker one, because it cuts all the way through, it makes a deep cut, is the cutter. It also has the pull-out arm, so it goes all the way to 14.5 inches right here. I honestly don't use the arm very much, but it's nice that it's here. A couple other neat features about this that I don't necessarily use. One is it has a little stand, so you can make it raised if you need to, for like whatever project you need to do that for. I don't really know when or why you would use that. Oh no, I'm lying. Now I see what that's for. I'm like, I don't know. I was looking at it before I started this video. It's to hold this up so it's as even as the table. Well, how cool is that? That's pretty neat, actually. That's pretty nifty. So if you wanted to get something exact measurement, you could. Again, I don't use the arm very much, so to me that's not a huge big deal. And then also this opens, and you can use this as storage if you needed to put extra papers in here, or a pen, or a stylus, or whatever you needed. That's just kind of handy. It's just a little added bonus. I think it's very durable. I like that it's not too big. I can take it with me if I go somewhere if I need to, and I really like it. I also like that it has the little lips on both sides up here, so that when I'm putting my paper in, I can use both sides as kind of a stopper, so I know that this is exactly straight. Some of them, if they don't have that, you can easily turn it on accident. So I really like this cutter, so I wanted to talk about this cutter for sure. That may be the only Stampin' Up! Product that I have in my absolute favorites list, but I do love it. So there is that. I made a list of some things so I could tell you guys about it. Oh, that is not it. There is also the Stampin' Up! Bone folder, but it really doesn't have to be the Stampin' Up! One. I had mine personalized, and sorry about my fingers. I was messing with some ink earlier. But this is a Stampin' Up! Bone folder. You can hardly see the Stampin' Up! Side, but my personalized side has held up well. I got this last year at Christmas time, so that is really cute. and this is engraved, it's like in there. But I love my bone folder. I use this on the daily too. It makes very nice score lines. It helps with folds. It's just a really great tool. I did not realize how much I would like a bone folder until I started using it. Before I used to use other things like a stylus or just, you know, folding a piece of paper, but a bone folder really does make a difference, and I would highly recommend a bone folder for anyone that's making cards especially. Let's see, another favorite of mine, art glitter glue. Oh my goodness, I can't say enough great things about this. I learned about this from Country Craft Creations. They also sell it at May Made It. And also, if you just go to artglitter.com, it comes in different sizes. There's a 2-ounce one, which is a lot smaller than this one. Well, this is 4-ounce, so it's half the size. There is an 8-ounce that I use as a refill, and it is just really good stuff. I just shake it up, and then you can see how my bottle is even kind of discolored. But I can tell you, this stuff is amazing. Once you've used it, I don't know anyone that doesn't like it. This is a separate purchase. It is the little fine tip. So you just take this silver tip that they give you, and they also give you a sterling, I think it's sterling silver, I think that's right, pen that you can just use to put inside. If you used a regular pen that wasn't sterling, I think is what it is, wasn't something, whatever special this is, it would make the glue turn a different color. So I really do recommend that you use the pen that they send with you, and you can even purchase these separately, I think, because they in case you lose it. But I'm really careful with mine, and I have not, knock on wood, lost one. So I have been using this, I would say almost a year, if not a year, at least almost a year for sure. And I can't say enough great things about it. It dries clear, it dries very quickly, it is permanent, and with this you get the extra super fine tip. It's smooth and works well, and a little bit goes a long way. This will last a really long time, I promise. It is a very good purchase. Along with tape, one of my favorites, or I guess glue adhesive, one of my favorites is also the Terran tape, and this is from Stampin' Up, but you can get other brands. I don't know what other brands this one is, but this Sukwang I know is a very popular brand, and it is just, you put it on whatever you need to put it on, and then you can literally tear it with your fingers, and it sticks like glue. So then you peel off the side that I'm trying to do it on my finger, which is probably silly, but I just want you guys to see this, and I'm trying to pull it off with my left hand. So you just peel that off, and then it is double-sided adhesive, and it is super strong. It is not it's not a weak adhesive at all. So if you stick this on, you shouldn't plan on being able to pull it back up. It definitely sticks. I love this stuff. I also love my ATG gun. Now this is an old kind of industrial one that was purchased offline before they started making ones for crafting specifically, and I can't get my door open right now, but it holds the same roll of adhesive. I try to keep a spare one up here. And I just, you can get Scotch brand too, because I know that Scotch, I think that this is a Scotch thing, and it used to be red. I just painted it because I wanted it to be a different color. Now they sell them pink, but I have had it for years. I love it. It works wonders, and it really saves on adhesive. So this is the same thing as like snail adhesive that we sell through Stampin' Up, but this is purchased online. I purchased it in bulk, and it fits right inside my ATG gun, and this allows me to use the adhesive, and it's a lot more economical for me. So I love that. Let's see, another thing that I love is my tripod. This is what I use to hold my phone when I'm videoing and you guys see me. I just set it up kind of like this wherever I'm going, And if I'm if this is easy to travel with, if I go somewhere, these legs are bendable, so you can manipulate it on whatever you want. This is an eye cross. I will try to remember to link down below where I got this. It's just off of Amazon, but I love it. This opens up to hold your phone however big or small it might be, and you can take this off, or you can do whatever you need to do with it. Actually, it's not coming off right now. Oh, here. So I could take this off. This screws on. I mean, there's just lots of moving parts if you want to make it however you want, however you need it to do your thing. It will adjust. This adjusts so that this moves around. It's just really nice. The only thing it doesn't do is, and I would always think that this would like protrude and extend a little more, but it doesn't. So however tall it is how tall it is. But really, because it has the bendable legs, you can put it on whatever you want to make it taller or whatever. So I love this. It works out really well. There's this so that you can screw your phone in if you need to, or whatever, your camera, and you can turn this, you know, you can manipulate it so that this was flat. And well, I think you'd have to do it the other way with this thing getting in the way, but you could do it. It's just a really great tripod. So I would highly recommend this one or one similar to it, just because it is fabulous. So that's a favorite. Another favorite of mine is my car mount that I use for vlogging in the car. I don't have, I mean, that's mounted to my car, so I'm not going to show that to you, but I will, again, try to remember to link it below. If I have forgotten, please let me know, and I will be happy to show you that. Another favorite is my small Misti. I have the big one and the small one. And there's a third one that's even a bigger 12 by 12 one, but I love this. And I know that Stampin' Up! Came out with another one, and I have not seen it nor used it. I haven't, so I haven't even, if I haven't seen it, I haven't used it, but you know what I mean. I can't speak anything of that one because, again, I've never seen it, but I love this one. I think it's great. It is a little pricey. I got it on mysweetpetunia.com. I put washi here to help me so that it's not so hard to open up. For whatever reason, sometimes this is just hard to open. So this just gives me a little handle to hold on to and raise it up. And then I put washi on my magnets. And it comes with these two round ones, which is fabulous. And that works for most things. But I also purchased this rectangle one. Like, what shape is this? And I have to say that this is my favorite one. It holds really well, and it's nice that it's a rectangle shape. I don't know, it just seems to hold the paper down a little bit better. Now it comes with a couple of these sheets, and you can get refills. I just leave them in there and use them a lot. And you're supposed to use a special cleaner on it. I actually have that cleaner. I use that too. But this is very durable, very easy to use. If you're using a clear block stamp, you can leave this in. If you're using a rubber stamp, you can just take this out. And then I just put my paper in like this, put my stamp on here, and stamp. And if you guys aren't familiar with what the Misti does or how to use that, please let me know, and I will be happy to do a video if I haven't already. If you search Misti, you'll probably see it, and that's M-I-S-T-I. It stands for Most Incredible Stamping Tool Ever, or something like that. Most Incredible Stamping Tool Invented, I think, is how it works. But it is really nice, and from what I understand, a scrapbooker came up with it. So, I mean, it's fabulous. You can put a stamp here, and you can be sure that you're stamping on the same place each time. And if you don't stamp the image clearly, you can stamp it a second time without having any problems. This is a really great tool, and it is a little bit of an investment, but I would actually suggest, if you are wanting one of these, maybe put it on your Santa list, because it is fabulous. Oh, and I do have another Stampin' Up! Product, and that's my Stampin' Scrub. This is really old. This says 2004 on it. That's probably when I got it, so that's, what, 13 years ago? And it is fabulous. What you do is you keep one side wet and one side dry. You just spray the cleaner on the wet side, and then after you've stamped, you take your stamp and clean it, and then you dry it off. and that's as easy as it is. You can put the stamp away. It's if you're using the cleaner that they recommend, it conditions and cleans your stamp, so it's good to go and will last you a lifetime. And then I just leave a little clear block in here just because I like to make sure I know where one is all the time, and I have it handy. Another favorite of mine is my plum paper planner. Now, I have used this since 2015, 16, 17, and I have it for 18. So I love I use a vertical plum paper planner, and I love it. So I honestly would recommend this over the Erin Condren. Not that I have used the Erin Condren, but just because of what I understand about both of them, this one works perfectly for me. I love it. It is fabulous. It still uses the same size stickers as the Erin Condren, although it's a little bit smaller, just a tiny bit, but the stickers totally work and you can use it no problem. And the paper is second to none, in my opinion. It is so smooth and soft and easy to write on. I highly recommend it. So that is the planner of choice. Another thing that I love and would not want to live without is my Tim Holtz ruler. I love this ruler. It has great increments. It works it goes from 0 to 12, and you can see how it has all of the lines, and then it also has all of the different increments in here, and it's all set up so that you can get it totally straight, be it here or wherever. It's just fabulous. It also has little dots here that you can stick your pencil through or your pen through if you needed to make a line. I have used that a couple of times. I just use my pencil and I stick the lead through as far as I can to get it to go through, and it works wonderfully. It also, and I don't know if you can see it, but it has a metal edge, so you can use your X-Acto knife against it with no problems. And also, if you can see, this end kind of comes down to a little fine line, whereas this one is more of a blunt line. This comes down really fine, and that's very nice too. I find myself using that sometimes. I don't know why it makes a difference or why I like it better, but trust me, try it and you will like it too. And then another really cool thing is that it also has a 0 ruler. So it starts at 0 in the middle and then goes out to 6 inches on the sides. So if I was trying to center something, for example, this piece of paper, I could easily center it right there to know that this is the center. So I could mark that, and then I could even do the same thing this way and find the true center of a piece of paper or whatever it is that you're trying to use. Love this ruler. I'm not always a huge Tim Holtz fan. There are some things that I really like of his, and then other things that are just not my thing. But this is one of the things that I absolutely love. I also love his inks. I didn't talk about those. I don't know that they're one of my favorites yet, but I think that maybe 2018, maybe if I play with them a little more, they will be. I love the distressed ink, and then the new, I don't even know what he calls them, but I've done some videos on those, the newer distressed inks. I don't remember what they're called, but those are very good too. And it was funny when I started to do this video and I was thinking, oh, I need to do my favorites. I thought, well, I'll just try to get everything out that are my favorites. Everything that are my favorites, though, are so close at hand, I don't even really have to get anything out. It's because I use them. I go to them all the time, and that's partly how I know that they are a favorite. So another favorite are my spring-loaded scissors. These are by Fiskars. I have the big pair and the small pair, and you can see that they both have little springs in them. Right there is that spring, and then here is the spring, and you just open it, and then the spring is sprung, and it just is so nice on your hands. It feels so good, and this pair is a workhorse. I love this pair. It has a really fine tip, so I can get in there and get really little things clipped. The scissors are sharp. They haven't needed to be resharpened. The only thing I can say is this is my second pair of these, and the first pair that I had is this one, and this locking mechanism doesn't stay locked, so often I will find it in my spring has sprung, and it's like this in my working box, and you can see how that's just so easy to, but this is an older version and they've clearly redone it. I don't want to force this one to see if it will open, but I don't think it will. The locking mechanism on this is way better, and it's super easy to use with just one hand. You don't have to get out and do two-handed, take something off or anything. It's just super boop easy. Same with the bigger pair, super easy to do with one hand. It has the spring and it just makes cutting so nice. These are fabulous long scissors. I actually have two pairs of this one, and then I have one with my sewing. Same with this. I have three pairs of this because this one is an older pair that I'll use now to cut things that you know, sometimes I shouldn't cut. I have a separate pair of scissors that I'll use for like wire ribbon and stuff, but in a pinch I'll still use this pair. But this is like my older pair. It's just seen a lot more wear, but I love it still. And that's my workhorse pair. And then this is for when I need to cut bigger things. So there's that. Something else that I love is a microfiber. This has seen better days. The only thing I don't like about these is I don't like the way that they feel on my hands. It gives me the creeps. So I really don't use this as much as I could, but I do love it for cleaning things such as my Misti or my blocks or stamps. If I'm in a pinch, I can just clean them with this. It is very handy, very easy to use, and they're very inexpensive. You can get them at anywhere. I usually get them from my husband's stash, and he gets them at the AutoZone store or at the auto repair place, because he goes through these a ton with his car stuff. Again, I don't like the way that they feel in my hands, especially in the winter. Get all, I don't know, they're just not very smooth, and I really don't like to touch these, but they do the trick, and it is one of my favorite things. Another one of my favorite things is my pencil. This is a Kuro Toga, and it's a 0.5 pencil. I love this pencil. I just click it for the lead to come out, and then I click it and push the lead in. This pencil is it's like rounded at the end as opposed to a flat lead pen. I don't know exactly how it works or why it works that way, but it's nice. At least that's how they sold me on it. I love this pencil. It writes smoothly, it writes well, it takes lead easily. The only thing that I think is kind of odd, but it's fine, to get lead to refill it, I have to do this and then push the lead through that little baby hole on the end to make the lead come out, or to load it up with lead, which it's kind of weird, but it works, and I love it, and I love the pink color, and I use this all the time, and it doesn't even look like it's worn at all, so I love this. I also love my silly white eraser. I know that that's probably a silly thing to say that I love, but I love it. I like that it has the four corners. I try to be really stingy on when I use this side, and then I just use this side freely, but this side I use whenever I need to get into a really sharp edge of a picture or something like that, so I kind of try to keep the corners nice on this side, and then this side I just go to town with erasing. So I love my eraser and my pencil. And then also my favorite pen is this one. It's an Energel liquid gel ink. I actually used to use this one all the time. Same exact pen. They're 0.07 lead. The only difference is that this one is just prettier to me, so I like this one a little bit better. You can refill these. They are gel ink, and they are black. Well, you can refill it with any color you want, but I never used to like black ink. I was always a blue ink fan until I started using these pens, and I tell you what, I don't know why, but these pens are phenomenal. They write very nicely. They're smooth and easy to write with. I also like these, and then there's one more that I like that I don't know if I even have any of those handy, because they write so small. I like that too. This is a Pilot G2. This is a nice pen, but my favorite is definitely this one. This is the one that I go to all the time, And I also like the Tulle pens, T-U-L. Those are nice, but this one is my favorite. And I love this color. I love everything about this pen. So this is my go-to one. What else? I'm trying to look at my thing. My car tripod, pencil and eraser. Dimensionals. That's another thing that is a favorite I should tell you about. These are from Stampin' Up. And these aren't just any pop dots, although any pop dots are great. But I will say that these Stampin' Up dimensionals are my favorite, and there's a couple reasons why. One is that they are not as thick as some of the other pop dots, so it's not so intrusive when you're trying to package something up for, like, in an envelope to mail out for mailing. They fit a little nicer. I also like that if you wanted it to be a little thicker, you could just stack them on top of each other. I also like that they're a hexagon shape. I don't know why, but that seems to fit in places a little better than a round circle or a square. And then also you can cut them to make them any shape that you want. And they're thin enough that they're easy to cut. So this whole part back here, this is the only part that isn't like pre-cut and ready for you to use. But I have used this for shaker cards just like this, or what I like to do is cut it up similar to this so that every side, and you might be able to see it a little better over here, every side is cut, and now this is just a smaller dimensional that I can use on whatever. So these are great. I love the dimensionals. You get them, they are sold in a package of, oh, I don't have it open, an unopened package handy, but they're sold in packages. I think it's 3 that come in a pack, 3 sheets of this, like this, but they are super inexpensive and totally worth the money. Those are my favorite dimensionals. Oh, Stella. I love my Wink of Stella. I think that this is pretty new from last year, but I also love, and I'm not partial to the Wink of Stella. It can be any brand. There's also, because there's this brand too, which is Spectrum Noir, and this brand is Zig. But the Stella comes, well, those happen to both be clear. The Stella comes in different colors, which is fabulous. Like here's a pink one, and then here's a clear one, and I happen to grab a pink. I'll grab a different color. I actually love this brown one. And it is just Spectrum Noir. These are sold, I know, at Michael's in 3s, probably other places too, but these are just phenomenal. They have glitter, and you can reload it with water after it's empty. Reload it, you can still get color out. For the most part, for another one, you can certainly get sparkle out for another session. The clear ones are the best for refilling because you can just totally refill it and refill it and refill it, and until the glitter runs dry, you can still use it as a glittery Wink of Stella pen, which is fabulous. But then when the glitter does run dry, and you just have an aqua brush then, which I love aqua brushes, so that's a fabulous little thing. If you wanted to put more ink in here, like more color, you could easily add drops of a whatever this is called, a re-inker. So this one's pink, so obviously I wouldn't put that in here, but you could just add a couple of drops of the re-inker to the water and reuse it as a Wink of Stella pen, or you could use it as kind of a mermaid marker, which is another one of my favorites from this year. These are pretty much the same thing, only they don't have glitter in them, and they are aqua brushes, but they have color in them, and these are by Jane Davenport. I love her, and I love all of her product, but you can totally just paint with it, and it's like a nice watercolory painting, and I think they're fabulous. And when the color runs out of these, you can again still use them as an aqua brush, and she has just recently started selling re-inker for these too, so that is very nice. And you can get them in a package of 12. I do think they're kind of pricey. I think they're about 40 bucks for the pack of 12, but they're at Michael's and Hobby Lobby and places like that, so use your coupon and you can get it for a lot cheaper. Another thing with the inner gel pens that I just showed you, this they do have colored ones, and I have not obviously opened this yet, but I'm kind of excited to try all of these different colors and see how that is. But very fun. I love anything office supply-y. I am all over. So then there's a couple other markers that I have been using a ton of. These are the Microline color pen set. This is on, I believe it was Amazon. I'm almost positive it was Amazon. This was about $12. It was very reasonable. It has 11 colors and 5 blacks, and you can see that the blacks are different sizes, so it has a different size point to it, and it's just fabulous. These are archival product quality, and these have no bleed. So I use these in my bullet journal when I'm trying to do something that I want to make sure doesn't bleed through if I color it with a Copic marker, or if I color it with a mermaid marker, or a Wink of Stella, or whatever. That's what I really got these for, and these are fantastic. These do the trick for sure. These are not so easily forgiving, but these are fountain pens, and their thing is that they're everyday fountain pens. These are throwaway fountain pens, but they're really kind of fun to use. And if you wanted to try fountain pens, this would maybe be a good option for you, because it has lots of different colors, and these are made by Pilot. These were not expensive. Again, I got these on Amazon. I will try to remember to leave some links below, but please forgive me if I do not. And just tell me that you like it, and I will try to include it. Another favorite is alcohol markers, but I don't really have a favorite brand right now, so I'm not going to show you any of those because I am still working on lots of different brands. Of course, I love the Copic markers, but they are so expensive that I don't know that they would be my go-to one. There's been a couple others, and I have done reviews on those. If you want to look those up on my website, on my YouTube, you can find them. Another favorite is this Distress Sprayer, which is also Tim Holtz. You can squirt this in different ways. Let me get a black piece of paper here and maybe you can see. If I don't squirt it entirely, if I just do like a small squirt, well, it like gives you big glops of water. If I do a full-on squirt, it just totally mists it and makes it just barely touching. And this is fabulous when you're using his Distress inks, or when you're using paint, or if you're using, heck, even my aqua brushes. This is really nice. I love having the option of making it like little big, or not little big, that doesn't make any sense, making big pieces of blobs on your paint, on your page, or hold it up a little higher and give it a full on, you know, push with your finger, and it's a total mist. And you guys can maybe even see that. I mean, it's just fabulous. He really did a good job with this. I also do keep just a regular sprayer, and this doesn't do all of the fancy stuff. It's just a nice spray of water, and I keep water in both of those. I should probably put some alcohol in one of them, because it, like rubbing alcohol, because that is nice to have around too, but I have not done that. Let's see, what is this? Oh, I haven't even used that yet, so I can't say that. Embossing powder is definitely one of my favorites. I don't have a particular brand or color or anything that's in my favorites, but I love embossing. So embossing powder is definitely a favorite. These are 2 golds, and you can see how different colors are. I mean, these are both gold, but look at the difference. So, you know, I remember one time someone saying that they liked white, and somebody said, well, what color of white? And I mean, that's the truth. There's so many different colors of even just white. I'm looking at my list. My Stella glue, my cutters, my scissors, my markers, cardstock. My favorite cardstock is definitely the Stampin' Up! Whisper White. That's my most go-to. I also like any of the papers from Stampin' Up! All of their cardstock is fabulous. That's probably... I mean, obviously I love their stamps, but I don't think that their stamps necessarily are any better than let's say Lawn Fawn or Simon Says Stamp. I don't think that their stamps are any better than any other ones of those kinds of brands, but I would say that their paper is better than other brands. I love that it's matchy-matchy. I love that you can get everything in the same color family. I love their designer paper where it tells you what colors are in the designer paper so you can easily match that. That's granimals of paper. I love it. My ruler I've done, my tripod, my car tripod. I think that I have done everything. Oh, no, I haven't. There's one more thing, and that is this craft sheet. I don't use this enough, but I love it. It is just a really thin craft sheet that you can work with. It doesn't stick on, I mean, it's a non-stick. You just lay it out, and it's, I don't even know what it's made of, but it's very nice. If whatever you're doing, it will easily wipe off. If you're painting, if you're using ink, any of that will just come off. Glue will come off. It's just very nice. I love having a craft sheet that I can use and work with. So on that note, I think that is all of my favorite crafty things. I'm looking around my desk to see what I have handy. Of course, I love inks and markers and pens and all of that. I've used a whole lot of my Crayola pens this year. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that they're necessarily a favorite. I just think that they're something that I use a lot. Because I don't really care if it's the Crayola or the Tombow or the Stampin' Up! Pens. I like them all, or markers. So, yeah, I think on that note, I will close. But thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Those are some of my favorite crafty things. Bye-bye.